Flags here, Tea Party flag. Flags.
Can I get a shot of that shirt?
Sure, absolutely.
Tea Party flag. Flag.
Thank you. So you talk about the original Tea Party.
Right.
Can you describe a little bit about what actually happened there historically?
Well, and from an historic perspective, the Tea Party was a culmination of interposition, which was the legal way to resist an unjust government. That means you do it through the lower magistrate from the bottom up. And it was a boycott. It was a boycott of British goods because what England did was make a monopoly of the East India Tea Company. They could begin to sell tea very cheaply here in the colonies, much cheaper than the colonies could smuggle it in from elsewhere. And their point was to get them to swallow the principle of the tax. The tax was not very much. And when you think of 3 cents on 10 pounds of tea that they wouldn't even drink in a year, that's not a very high tax. And the issue was not the amount of tax, the issue was the principle. That the Parliament had no right to tax the colonists because every colony here had its own Parliament. And as Englishmen, they had the right to govern themselves and vote in their own taxes. So because of all those ideas, the common law of England left them only one recourse of appeal. When a good came into town that you didn't want to pay the tax on, you could not land that good. And of course, that had to be done by an actual vote of the representatives, which it was done. And they voted not to land the tea here in Boston. And then the tea was kept in port, guarded the ship so that nobody harmed the owner or the property for 20 days, and then it was liable for seizure. The British said that the next day, on the 17th of December, that 21st day, they would land the tea by point of bayonet in order to force them. Once it was on land, then you're dealing with you have to pay the tax. And nobody could use it. And that's why, of course, instead, they dumped the tea into the harbor because it was liable for seizure. So they acted lawfully. Even the Tory Governor Hutchinson said they acted constitutionally. So the Boston Tea Party, in short, was a lawful resistance of unjust government. That's something that is a tremendous parallel to what people are experiencing today. And I think that's the key to be in the spirit of the original Boston Tea Party. It was not a riot. It wasn't a revolution. No harm was done to any other property. People could only hear the chests of tea being opened. There was no shouting or rioting, and I think that's something critical for Americans to understand.
Proud to be an American, that's
okay. And why did you choose to bring that flag today?
I just bought it right here because I'm proud to be an American, and
okay.
I'm tired of the way this government's treating us.
Okay.
Obamacare is against our Constitution. There should be no entitlements in this country. We should earn everything we have.
Now, are you...
No one got me a job, I earned it.
Okay.
No one pays me to go to work every day. I mean, I get paid, I have a paycheck, but I go because I want to. And liberty, life, and happiness.
Okay. Are you a local person?
Las Vegas, Nevada. We're following the Tea Party.
So you came all the way from Las Vegas?
Yes.
Wow.
My husband and I are from Las Vegas, and right from here we're going to end up in Washington with the Tea Party.
Oh, wow. So how long have you been traveling with the Tea Party?
Well, we live in Las Vegas.
Okay.
We weren't able to make Searchlight, which was the beginning. But we did go to Utah. That was the first one. And then right after that, we decided to come here. So this is our second, and Washington will be our third.
And so in November, you're going to vote Republican?
I'm going to vote person, okay? I'm actually a registered Democrat. I'm not happy with my party, but I will probably do whatever I can to vote Harry Reid out. And Dean Titus, who's a senator, she's also a Democrat. I do not like either one of them. I will do my best to vote against those people. But at this point, I definitely want the Republicans in if the candidate's someone I can respect and trust.
Did you vote for Obama?
I did not.
You did not. But you were a registered Democrat?
Correct.
Okay. And you basically feel that, you're upset with the levels of spending and the levels of taxation.
And they do not listen to the people's voice. We need to have that voice back. And they need to get back to reading the Constitution instead of interpreting their ways.
Okay. And are you a Republican or Democrat or independent?
I'm an independent.
Okay. And what is it about the Tea Party cause that has drawn you in?
The government's out of control. Way out of control.
How long have you felt that way?
Since President Obama took office.
And what specifically do you oppose? What's out of control?
Government spending, taxes, just way too much, spending of money. I feel that the country's going to lose, I don't know, its dignity. It's not, it's just not going to be what it used to be.
Okay. How do you feel about the way that the Tea Party movement has been covered? Has it been given the kind of respect that, or has it been unfairly represented?
I think it's been unfairly represented by the White House. I think we have freedom of speech, and the White House needs to know that these people are expressing exactly how they feel towards the government.
Okay. And so, what exactly do you hope for this movement to result in?
To bring the government back to the way it should be. Bring, a small government. The government is way too big. Small government and lower taxes.
And why are you here today?
Just to take part in it. I like the cause. I've been following this for a year, since the last year with saw the Tea Parties all across the country on tax day. And I really, I like the cause. I think a message has got to be sent. Hopefully, the folks in Washington are getting the message, but I think it's, just doing what you can do to get the message out.
And what is that message?
They're tired of the way things are going right now in the government. This, everything, this Euro-socialist takeover where, the government is taking us, and, we just want to take it back. A simpler government, less, infringements on people's rights, and just everything where government's going, and hopefully we can take it back and get it back to the way it was, Reagan years.
Where do you stand on healthcare?
I'm against it.
Okay. Why?
I just think it's a government handout, and I think it's going to be some people that are just they should pay for it on their own. I think if you need to see a doctor, you go pay for a doctor. It's an entitlement, but I think that it's the wrong thing.
What about Commonwealth care?
I really don't.
Do you support that, or do you oppose that as well?
I oppose that as well.
Okay.
I think it should be a personal responsibility, really, that people need to take upon themselves, and it shouldn't be something that's mandated on people.
And are you generally a Republican, a Democrat, independent?
I'm an independent.
Okay.
I'm an independent. I voted Democrat sometimes. I voted Republican sometimes. I basically just go on the candidate where they stand on the issues.
How are you going to vote in November?
I am going to vote for Republican all across the board.
Okay.
I think it needs to balance out a little bit.
Okay. Lastly, that sign. Can you just show me that sign?
This is the forefathers' flag. Don't tread on me.
Now, some people have said that that flag is controversial. What do you make of that?
I don't think it's controversial. I think it's just basically reverts back to the days of our forefathers and really what this country was founded on. You go back to the days of Washington, Jefferson, Hamilton, when they founded this country, and this is Ben Franklin was the one who designed this flag. So if they think it's controversial, then they should study history.